this moment. When I walk through the pearly gates, I look back at my life. I'll be sad for my mistakes and for those I left behind. The time is now as I sing my song with a grateful heart so open. It's the love I share and the peace I give in this moment. Watch the clouds roll by. I say what I have to say, so nothing goes unspoken. I choose to live in this moment, in this moment, in this moment. 'Cause all I've got is this moment. Here and now, as it's always been and will always be in this moment. Thank you very much. Everyone's got their own perception. History can play games. Perception can sometimes be deception. But if you turn something upside down, it won't see the same. You can change your story. There's nothing that went wrong. You grew from every lesson. You know it made you strong. Don't believe the lies your monkey mind's been telling you. Your life is purely made of God's glory, and that's your real life story. Time is now to take a new direction. Self-defeating ways. Live your life, purpose and reflection. Take all your old beliefs and wash them down the drain. You can change your story. There's nothing that went wrong. You grew from every lesson. You know it made you been telling you. Your life is purely made of God's glory, and that's your real life story. So embrace, transform, choose to believe. You made the best of your time here. You can change your story. There's
Huh?
Yeah.
Yes!
Oh my goodness, that is Kim Yarson. We're so happy to have Kim with us. She's always bringing the wonder, the wonderful, the special, the joy. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Morristown. Those of you who are here today, I'm happy to see real faces. And I know that there's a bunch of real faces right behind that camera. So we welcome anyone who is watching this live stream, whether it's in this moment or any moment in the future. We are Center for Spiritual Living, Morristown. I'm Frankie Timmers, the spiritual director here, and our theme for the year is a grand rising. We're over the hump because it's August, so I'm sure that you are experiencing that kind of rising in some way, shape, or form. And in August, the last Sunday today is Unstatus Quo, and today my topic is resistance to change. And what I want to talk about is this love-hate relationship that we sometimes often have with change, and how we can explore that a little bit more and look at it from a perspective of an opportunity to grow and heal and learn a few things. And then how can we apply the things that we've learned along the ways? Because even if somebody's here for the first time, surely you've learned a few things if you are on a spiritual path. And I'm assuming that if you're here, you're on a spiritual path. So whether it's on the live stream or in person. So we're going to explore that a little bit. And then we have the music of Kim Yarson. So we don't have a social hour today for those of you who are here. There is a cancellation, but we have social hour every Sunday in September because our people love it so much. So come and join us. It's always fun. So find us on our website. There's lots of information there, cslmorristown.org. And I want to start with our Namaste practice, where we put our hands together and greet one another with a Namaste, which means the divinity in me blesses the divinity in you. So Namaste.
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 Namaste. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.
And let's treat our word for affirmative prayer. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And the moment that you close your eyes, you might notice that your attention goes from the outer to the inner. And so we can take that even deeper with a breath, a conscious breath. And so here we start to dwell in that place, that sweet place of remembrance. Remembrance that the presence and the power of divine love is ever within us, or our hearts would not beat, or our breath would not be possible. All of that is governed by an infinite intelligence that we can call by many names. And we make sure we call it by a name that makes our hearts sing. Because that name then on the breath allows us to live in a state of remembrance and to trust that change is taking place all the time. And the more we trust this divine presence, this divine intelligence within us, the more easy it is for us to welcome change because we know it is all for us and for our good, never against us. So it allows us to dwell in a place of trusting life and life's experiences a little bit more because we realize that we have incarnated in this human experience to evolve as spiritual beings. So today we set an intention to surrender, relax, and trust life a little bit more than we did before. And to be grateful for the changes we've already overcome and have already navigated our way through with a faith, a trust, a surrender, a deeper knowing, and an open heart. So with awe and gratitude then, we turn this word over to the universal law because it truly does know how to demonstrate it in the highest and best ways for each of us as individualized expressions of the one. And we simply receive, and so it is. So I don't know really how many of you actually get to see the weekly Constant Contact blast. It's a weekly email we send out to anyone on the list. If you're not receiving it, you might not be on the list. You might not look at your email. It might be in your spam. We don't know for sure, but just let me know and I will do my best to take care of you. But this week I added a cartoon that's one of my favorites. The first section of the cartoon is a group of people in a room with a speaker in the front behind the podium, and he asks, how many of you do want change? And everybody's hand goes up. And then in the second section of the cartoon, he says, how many of you want to change? And the room is empty. Or actually, no, it's not empty. Everybody in the room has kind of bowed their heads and no hands are gone up. The third one, the third section is who wants to lead the change, and everybody's gone. That's a very powerful cartoon if you think about it. Because we have this interesting relationship with change. It's a bit of a love-hate relationship, right? Where there's certain changes that we really love, and then there's certain changes that we're like, ugh, we don't love so much. So when we think about change in the relationship to our spiritual community, the Center for Spiritual Living, Morristown, we've gone through a lot of changes over the years. I've been around almost 32 years here, and I remember a big change when I arrived. And the challenges of that change for people to get used to a different person and a different way of doing things. I mean, I remember when we stopped singing the peace song, oh my gosh, you should have seen the protests that were happening, right? Just changing a song. And then I remember another really big change happened around 2008 when the markets crashed. And financially, there was a shift in our life as a spiritual community. And the next big change that I would say happened is COVID. It just changed everything, right? And then we sold our building. Oh my goodness, like the world came to an end. There was a lot of challenge amongst our community with that change. And then last year, I announced that I was retiring. I call it re-inspiring because I don't need new tires and I'm not tired. So I call it re-inspiring, and that's going to happen in a little bit more than 6 months. That's a lot of change. How are you doing? How you doing? Wendy Williams, right? The human ego, our human nature, our ego nature does not like change. It's very resistant. Our soul, our spirit, doesn't like change either. It loves change. It loves change because from a spiritual perspective, at a spiritual level, we know that change is constant. Your body right now is changing at a level that would blow your mind if you fully understood it. Some of you may, I don't. What's happening outside, have you noticed the leaves are starting to change? That fall is kind of around the corner. It was a little cool this week at night. We didn't need air conditioning. So there's this constant change. I love walking the same path when I go out for a walk because every time I go, even if it's every day, there is something changing around us. So the soul, our spirit, really, really loves it. But our human nature, our ego nature, our personality, our individual self does not like it. Are there some changes that you have experienced that you don't like? Anything, something you don't like, a change that's happening maybe that you don't like, one in your life, in your world?
My son's going back to college and I had him all summer.
Son is going back to college, you had him all summer. There's quite a few parents with that, right? Yeah, what else?
The divisiveness in this world.
The divisiveness in our world. What
It's a
else?
big one.
It's a big one, right? What about some changes that you say, oh, thank goodness that changed in my life? Is there something that you say, I'm so grateful that changed? Really? Do I have to name about 100 of them?
I have like an underlying resentment towards my mom that's getting better.
Yeah, less
It's
resentment.
less resentment. It's
around-
like a good change I'm welcoming.
Yeah, less resentment about maybe somebody in your life. What else?
Like releasing toxic relationships from your life.
Releasing toxic relationships from your life. Yeah, if you look back and some of the things that weren't working in your life and they changed, you probably went, oh, thank goodness that changed, right? And so if you think about it, it's kind of an interesting thing that happens. So we know now that change is constant and yet we still resist it. Let's lean into that. Why do you think we resist change?
Because we lack stability.
We lack stability,
Uncertainty.
uncertainty,
The unknown.
the unknown,
Fear.
fear. Yes, see the thing is, we already know why we resist change. When we lean into it, we can say, well, when things change, it triggers something in me. A wound, an old hurt, an old memory. It can mean that when things change, we don't feel safe. All of a sudden, we don't feel safe, right? It's just that feeling of, right? And then there's this thing where we say, well, you know, I know change is constant, but then when it really happens to us, we resist it or we get afraid, which means we don't really know, right? And then there's the distractions that are constantly barraging us. And then there's this thing that people say, you know, I wish we'd go back to, right? Back to normal, whatever that was, back to the old ways, right? And then there's grief. I love the book on grief by John Welshans, who we'll be having back again, used to come and do workshops for us. Because he says that whenever we have a hard time accepting change, even teeny tiny ones, we tend to experience grief. And I've learned that grief just means that first there was love. And when we allow ourselves to remember the love, the grief begins to heal. And then there's this anxiety that seems to be a collective consciousness thing. When we begin to pay attention to what's happening in the world, it seems that everybody is anxious and it affects us. So there are many, many things that are happening besides uncertainty, right? Which is so real because none of us know what's going to happen when we leave here today, right? So there's this really powerful saying that says, what you resist persists. I love that some of you answered so quickly. I think that that means that you're practicing it all the time. Right? Maybe not. So let's flip this idea of persistence and have it be a way to let go of resistance. Because resistance sometimes is appropriate. And persistence sometimes is appropriate. Because we know from a spiritual perspective that there are always two extremes, two sides to a story, right? That beautiful story song that you just sang, we hear that. And so let's flip it, and what, instead of persisting or resisting change, we embrace it and we add persistence to our spiritual practices. That we add this idea to our spiritual practices. And how do we do that? How do we add persistence to our spiritual practices? Well, we go back over and over again to the tried and true principles. the tried and true spiritual principles that kind of exist everywhere, or the tried and true principles of our amazing teaching. To persist those principles in our day-to-day practice. What are some of the basic spiritual principles that you know?
Kindness.
Kindness,
Do unto others.
do unto others as you would have them do unto you, yes.
Don't focus on the negative.
Don't focus on the negative.
Love.
Love is all there is.
Mm-hmm.
We all know some basic principles. Maybe they don't even need to be spiritual. Maybe they just need to be common sense and kind. We all know them. We look for them in other people. We hope for them in our world. When those basic principles come to mind, they're not there to look for in another or expect from another, but they're there to practice for ourselves. And not necessarily when and where it's easy. When we're on a spiritual path, usually the demand is when we're most challenged, when it's most difficult. Because we know the basic principles of kindness and acceptance and love and compassion, they are the healing principles that actually work and are very powerful. But sometimes we need a little push because we're just trying to stay safe and not feel the things that we don't want to feel. So what if we kind of lean in and get a little more curious? Do you remember that really powerful saying maybe a decade ago called NIMBY?
Mhm.
Yes.
Not in my backyard.
Not in my backyard. Where do you believe that? Where do you say that? Maybe not consciously, but purposely place yourself in an environment where you might be uncomfortable. Maybe go to an opposite political environment. Maybe go to an opposite cultural environment. Maybe an opposite musical environment. I mean, put me in heavy metal and I would probably tear my hair out. But sometimes it's really powerful to place ourselves in the environment that we say, I would never go there. I would never do that. Because then you can stand in that environment and notice resistance, notice fear, notice worry, notice panic, notice anxiety, just to notice. And for those of you who say or think, that is too much to ask of me, that is dangerous for me, do it in your imagination. Because we already know scientifically that your brain lights up the same way when you're actually experiencing it or when you are imagining it. So imagining it is powerful. Imagine that you are in a room filled with people who are seeing enabled or hearing enabled or other disabilities, different abilities, different environments, different cultures, different political points of view, different ways of seeing the world. And just notice what shows up for you, just to become aware. In our teaching, we start simple. How many of you know our vision statement? Nobody.
What was that?
How many of you know our vision statement?
I know you have one.
We have one, yes. So I want you, those of you who are here and those of you that are online, to memorize it. So repeat after me. I have to read it again. At the moment, my mind goes blank. Our vision is transforming lives. Don't hand them out yet. Transforming lives through the science of mind, philosophy, faith, and way of life. transforming lives, repeat,
Transforming
through the science of mind, philosophy, faith, and way of life.
way of life.
So one of the, and we're going to give you this because next week there's going to be a test. Our mission is providing spiritual inspiration to individuals that lifts each one to transform their lives in ways that create a world that works for everyone. So we're going to hand that out to you with also the values. But transforming our lives through the science of mind philosophy is the piece that you want to remember. The reason that is important is because you can go anywhere in your imagination or in your actual experience and stand as a representation of that vision. Transforming lives through the science of mind philosophy, which then demands us to do it for ourselves. And if you say, well, science of mind is not really my thing, then create a vision for yourself. Maybe transforming lives through my spiritual life, my spiritual well-being, my spiritual practices, my spiritual evolution, right? So it's to go to some of these places in your imagination or actuality and just hold that vision. Hold that vision. We can do this anytime. I have not been very involved watching the news in the last few weeks. But I've been holding the high watch to hold the highest vision for all of humanity, especially in this country. And that is something we can do every day, wherever we go, whatever we're doing, even while we're watching the news. To hold that vision is a spiritual responsibility that we have, right, if we're on a spiritual path, and that can look different for anyone. We talked the first Sunday in August about sacred activism. Sacred activism is to stand in the principles that you believe and to hold them in your heart, in your mind, in your body and your soul, and to allow activism to come from that place, which is very different than when activism comes from frustration, anger, uncertainty, fear, right? Because there is a different energy that we bring to our environments. So then we stay open and we notice what gets in the way. We notice our resistance, and that informs our spiritual practice again and again and again. And so I believe that all of us have been on a spiritual path and have done our spiritual healing and our spiritual practices up until now for this, whatever this is: elections, climate change, division, disease, structures breaking down, structures collapsing, whatever it may be, we already have prepared for this. And now this is demanding us to stand on that higher ground and to be the activism of our own spiritual growth and evolution up until now, and to be informed by what's happening around us, what our next practices are to be, and to be patient and kind and compassionate with ourselves, because that's what we see in the world, is a reflection. So what we do then, or what we're doing, is we're embracing changes as an understanding that we are here to evolve as spiritual beings, and that it must show up in our human experience, and that when we trust that, it reveals possibilities. If I want to see a world that works for everyone, I have to ask myself, what's my part in it? Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and actively. Because we create a different future when we experience it within ourselves. If we don't experience it within ourselves, the division will just show up in the world, because the division is just a mirror of what's happening inside of us as human beings. And the biggest piece of that is we forgot that all life is sacred, that God is everywhere present in everyone, everything, all the time. I know this is not easy. I know, because I'm challenged with it every day. It just informs my practice, and can I then be gentle and compassionate with myself? Just one step at a time, one day at a time, one prayer at a time, one meditation at a time, one practice at a time, one song at a time. Because we know how music can heal us and change us. So here we are, the end of August, on status quo. We get to be the change that we wish to see in the world, a little bit at a time, with faith, with kindness, with gentleness, with trust, and with compassion. All right, that's all I have to say. So now we have Kim, who wrote a brand new song for us. Yay, Kim!
Yay me! I completely forgot I was supposed to be here today, didn't I? I told you that, remember?
Well, kinda.
Sort of. I was on vacation, so right. I was like, oh yeah, I did schedule that. But at any rate, I was happy to have this to write, because it's definitely something we all need. Let's see if I can remember how I wrote it. Change. The birds still sing to the rising sun. The flowers bloom every single spring. Even when you complain so much, while you're watching the nightly news and tragic disasters fill your eyes. A Buddhist monk is chanting prayers. A mother sings a baby lullaby. So look in, not out, smile wide. Don't frown, 'cause life's too short. 2-point fingers, let go, forgive, look deep within and change that person you see in the mirror. And go, go, go within. And go, go, go within. Don't you wait till it's too late.
So I invite you to just turn within. Let's do a brief spiritual practice. Just place your hand on your heart and allow that hand to tell you, go within. It's safe. You are safe. You are loved. You are okay. You are enough. And then ask yourself, one change I would love to see happen. Whether it's in you, around you, in the world, just allow the answer to come quietly in the privacy of your own mind. One change I would just love in me, around me, in the world. And then listen to what your hand on your heart is telling you when it says, you know this is possible. You know it's possible. And then ask yourself, what's in the way? What's in the way? And what's the opposite of that? What's the opposite of what's in the way? And that is ours to practice. That is ours to embrace and embody. The good news is that it's already within you. It doesn't come from anywhere outside. It's already within you. So welcome it. Say, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And just let a breath anchor that. And arrive at this place of yes, yes, I welcome it. And now slowly bring your attention back. When you're ready, open your eyes. So Christy and Eileen have some flyers that have our vision. You can memorize all of it, but start with the vision, or just every day read it and just see what is yours to practice. This week we have meeting number 4 with our spirituality and aging, and anyone can join at any time. You don't have to have taken any of the others. And we are deepening in this idea of presencing. Those of you that are participating, you may already realize that the chapter we're reading is probably one of the most challenging ones in the book.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, yes, but we're going to work with that in a way that it becomes a reminder that we are all that Spirit knows us to be, and that we get to begin to live it, that freedom, sense of freedom in a bigger way. So join us for that on Zoom. Flyers are here and we send them out in an email. And then on September 8th, we have a community meeting because of the 6 months from then that I won't be here anymore, and you get to be a part of creating what's possible. So we invite you to come to that. It's a potluck before it, but the meeting starts at 1. And then come by over here, or be sure to be on our email list or check our email, because we have Kat doing another sound bath on September 22nd, and Reverend Janice, who is a brilliant teacher, is going to be teaching a class in October. It's once a month for 6 months. It's called Using Life's Changes for Spiritual Awakening. And then in October, I have a discovery class, which is for anybody who's interested in becoming a member. Just if you're curious about what that means and what we're all about, it's a free class and it's really fun. It's going to be in person. And now let us say thank you, Universe, for bringing me to this spiritual community. I would love to support it in whatever way possible, and we welcome any and all gifts in any way, shape, or form. If you want to volunteer, actually, some of you love to clean. And I want to plan a cleaning day. So we give this space a good cleaning and our office space a good cleaning. Let me know if that's something you love to do. I do. So I'll be here for that. And some of you like to greet, some of you like to provide us with social hour, and some of you would like to give a financial donation. So I'm going to pass this basket around if that's something you like to do. It has envelopes if you like to receive a letter at the end of the year that says, I've donated, and tax-deductible donations over a certain amount. So let's do an affirmation together. Today, I am grateful for my abundance.
I am grateful for my abundance.
And because I am on a spiritual path,
And because I am on a spiritual path,
I am open
I am open
to expanding
to expand
my abundance consciousness.
my abundance consciousness.
For there is always more good
For there is always more good
to embrace
to
and
embrace
to receive.
and to receive.
And so it is.
And so it is.
All right, so we're going to have another song with Kim. I think she's going to get us to sing along.
We definitely.
Or dance.
Definitely.
If you want to dance, we'll dance. Get up and move.
Yes.
And we're so grateful to have a space and a community to come together. It always fills my heart. And thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Love having
Thank you for
you.
inviting me. All right, we're gonna do a little shake your coconut tree. Re-envision just now as I was sitting here. I re-envisioned this song. Just for you. All right, here we go, everybody. It's pretty easy. It goes, shake your coconut, shake your coconut, shake your coconut tree. Let the coconuts fall where they will, and just shake your coconut tree. That's it, right? Can you do that with me, right?
Yes.
Shake your coconut, shake your coconut, shake your coconut tree. Let the coconuts fall where they will, and just shake your coconut tree. When the world's gone mad and you're really sad, shake your coconut tree. When you're out of luck and politics suck, just shake your coconut tree. With no care about where you are, this is your life, so be the star. Shake it up, shake it down, shake it even when you're not allowed. Everybody ready? Shake your coconut, shake your coconut, shake your coconut tree. Let the coconuts fall where they will, and just shake your coconut tree. One more time now, shake your coconut, shake your coconut, shake your coconut tree. Let the coconuts fall where they will, and just shake your coconut tree. If change is hard, don't resist, just shake your coconut tree. Just take a deep breath and persist and shake your coconut tree. Alright, everybody, with no care about where you are, this is your life, so be the star. Shake it free, shake
healing treatment. Because I think we can all use that, no?
Yes.
The world can use that, no?
Always.
All right, so let's close our eyes. And just for a moment, realize that the moment we close our eyes, we become the world. We place in our hearts all of the world, all of life, all of the living, in all shapes and forms. And we always remember to also include our Mother Earth and all of its creatures. And so as we do, we fall into this place of expanded consciousness where all is embraced, where we extend our heart of hearts to bless all of life, because there's only the one life. There's only the one God, the one presence, the one power, the one infinite intelligence that holds it all together. And so now each of us can trust this a little bit deeper. And when we do, we naturally let go of some of the places where we don't, whether we're conscious of that or not. And so now we truly can be a blessing in the world, whether it's in quiet, simple ways or big and louder ways or anything and everything in between, because each of us as individualized expressions of the one have a gift to give. So it's never about I'm not doing enough. It is always knowing that I am doing. And witnessing that doing in such a sweet, unique way that it becomes a celebration each time, each moment, each breath, each heartbeat. Knowing that allows for there to be a planetary shift that fills our hearts and our minds with infinite possibility and allows us to thrive in a way that feels so much more free. I am so grateful that this possibility lives in each and every one of us all the time, and that when we turn to that place within of infinite possibility, we are given exactly what we need to live from that place of wholeness. So we let awe and gratitude and joy and wonder lead the way. And we slip into this way of being grateful all the time. And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is.